If you've been staring at your phone thinking, do I upgrade this year? Or am I about to regret this in 6 months? Yeah, that feeling, that little knot in your stomach right before you drop $1,000, this video is for you, especially if you're even thinking about buying the next iPhone Pro, because I went down the rabbit hole on the iPhone 18 Pro leaks, and now I'm uncomfortable, not excited, uncomfortable. Apple's iPhone development roadmap stretches years into the future, with the company simultaneously working alongside suppliers on multiple generations of devices. That's why iPhone rumors often surface long before a product is officially announced, and the iPhone 18 Pro series is no exception. Even though its release is still far off, a surprisingly clear picture is already forming of what Apple is planning for the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max. One of the most significant shifts rumored for this generation isn't even about hardware, but timing. Apple is reportedly preparing to split its iPhone launch cycle into two phases, beginning with the iPhone 18 lineup. Under this plan, the iPhone 18 Pro, iPhone 18 Pro Max, and a foldable iPhone would launch in September 2026, while the standard iPhone 18 and a new iPhone 18e would follow in spring 2027. This change alone suggests Apple is rethinking how it positions its most premium devices and how much separation it wants between Pro and non-Pro models. In terms of overall design, the iPhone 18 Pro lineup is expected to look very familiar. Most rumors point to Apple sticking closely to the design language of the iPhone 17 Pro, particularly around the rear camera system. The raised camera plateau with 3 lenses arranged in a triangular layout is expected to remain unchanged, and display sizes are also likely to stay the same, with the iPhone 18 Pro using a 6.3-inch panel and the iPhone 18 Pro Max using a 6.9-inch panel, continuing the dimensions introduced with the iPhone 16 Pro series. However, while the shape may stay the same, Apple is rumored to refine the materials and finish. The company is said to be moving away from the two-tone look introduced on the iPhone 17 Pro and toward a more seamless rear design. By updating its back glass replacement process, Apple reportedly aims to minimize the color difference between the ceramic shield, two glass, and the aluminum frame, creating a more unified and polished appearance that feels less visually segmented. One of the more interesting physical changes could be a slightly thicker chassis, at least for the iPhone 18 Pro Max. According to a rumor, the Pro Max model may gain a bit of thickness, pushing its weight to around 243 grams. If accurate, this would make it slightly heavier than the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which currently holds the title of Apple's heaviest iPhone. While Apple hasn't given any official explanation for this potential change, the most logical reason is battery capacity. Apple has a long history of only increasing thickness when it directly benefits battery life, and a thicker body strongly suggests a larger battery or internal changes designed to improve endurance. For users who prioritize all-day battery life, this could be one of the most meaningful upgrades of the entire generation. The front of the phone may also see subtle but important changes, particularly around the dynamic island. Rumors about under-display Face ID have circulated for years, and the iPhone 18 Pro could be the first real step in that direction, though reports are divided on how far Apple will go. Some sources claim Apple is targeting a design that eliminates the dynamic island entirely, replacing it with a single pinhole camera in the corner of the display. Others, including well-known analysts, believe Apple will instead introduce a smaller dynamic island while keeping Face ID components partially visible. Additional reports suggest Apple is experimenting with camera miniaturization to reduce the size of the front-facing camera hardware. While there's no universal agreement, the general consensus is that Apple will shrink or refine the dynamic island rather than fully remove it, signaling a gradual transition toward a cleaner, more immersive display in future generations. Performance improvements are expected to come from Apple's next generation A20 Pro chip, which is rumored to be built on TSMC's advanced 2 nanometer manufacturing process. Moving to 2 nanometer technology would allow Apple to pack more transistors into the chip, resulting in higher performance and significantly better power efficiency. Early estimates suggest the A20 series could deliver around a 15% performance increase and up to 30% better efficiency compared to the A19 chips expected in the iPhone 17 lineup. Beyond raw speed, Apple is also rumored to use TSMC's wafer-level multi-chip module packaging, which could integrate RAM more closely with the CPU, GPU, and neural engine. This tighter integration may lead to faster overall performance, improved Apple Intelligence capabilities, and better battery life due to reduced power loss. Connectivity is another area where the iPhone 18 Pro could represent a major shift. Apple is reportedly planning to include its own next-generation C2 modem, continuing its effort to reduce dependence on Qualcomm. The C2 modem would succeed the C1 modem introduced in the iPhone 16e and the faster C1X used in the iPhone Air. Unlike its predecessors, the C2 is expected to support mmWave 5G in the United States, along with faster speeds and improved power efficiency. Apple's long-term goal with in-house modems is tighter integration with its hardware and software, allowing for better control over performance, battery usage, and overall reliability. Camera upgrades may be among the most notable changes for photography enthusiasts. For the first time, Apple may introduce a camera sensor supplied by Samsung rather than Sony. Samsung is reportedly developing a new 3-layer stacked image sensor known as PDTR logic, designed to improve responsiveness, reduce noise, and enhance dynamic range. If Apple adopts this sensor for the iPhone 18 Pro, it would mark a significant shift in Apple's camera supply chain and could lead to noticeable improvements in photo and video quality, particularly in challenging lighting conditions. In addition to a new sensor, Apple is also rumored to introduce a variable aperture system on the main rear camera of the iPhone 18 Pro models. This would allow the lens to physically adjust its aperture, letting in more light for low-light photography or narrowing the opening in bright conditions to improve sharpness and depth of field. Previous iPhone models have used a fixed aperture, meaning the lens always operates at its widest setting. A variable aperture would give users more creative control, similar to what's possible on DSLR cameras, and could significantly improve both portrait shots and everyday photography. One of the most ambitious rumored features is support for 5G satellite internet. Unlike the limited satellite-based emergency features currently available on iPhones, this technology could enable full data connectivity through satellites rather than traditional cell towers. If Apple manages to implement this as early as 2026, the iPhone 18 Pro, iPhone 18 Pro Max, and a potential foldable iPhone could be the first devices to offer true satellite-based internet access. While details about partners and real-world performance remain unclear, this feature alone could redefine where and how iPhones can be used. Apple is also said to be refining the camera control button introduced in recent models. The current version uses a combination of capacitive and pressure sensors beneath a sapphire crystal surface, allowing for touch gestures and pressure-based controls. For the iPhone 18, Apple may simplify this design by removing the capacitive layer while retaining pressure sensing. This change isn't expected to reduce functionality, but is instead aimed at lowering manufacturing and repair costs, suggesting Apple is optimizing the feature based on early real-world usage. Finally, Apple is reportedly experimenting with new color options for the iPhone 18 Pro lineup, including burgundy, brown, and purple. A burgundy finish would be especially notable as it would mark the first time a Pro iPhone has appeared in a deep red tone, rather than the lighter red used in earlier models. Brown would be entirely new territory for Apple, while purple could return as a refreshed take following the popularity of deep purple on the iPhone 14 Pro. While colors may seem like a minor detail, Apple often uses them to define the personality of a generation, and these new options could play a role in distinguishing the iPhone 18 Pro from its predecessors. See you next video. Peace out.